Against the Grain Nation, how you guys doing on this motivational Monday? All right, we've been in a speaker series here for a couple of videos. Last video was about, do you know what you want? This video, we're going to get a little bit deeper into it. So before I go any further, I am the intellectual preacher, your boy Top Dog, back in the building. Hopefully this video found you in great health, great spirits, dominating everything that you touch. You know what we do on this channel? Well, let me slow down. We aim to elevate, motivate, so that you can go out and dominate. Provoke thought, higher levels of understanding. Thank you so much to the continued viewership. Continue to like, comment, share. Hit that notifications buzzer. Hit the thumbs up on the videos so that we trigger the algorithms that are going to get these videos out to as many people as humanly possible. So, you know what we do about this time. Let's get loose. So, you made up your mind what it is that you want. Next, are you prepared to do what it takes? Because you have to realize that once you know what it is that you want, there has to be an equitable exchange to get that whatever that is. It just doesn't come. You're going to have to give up something. You're going to have to give up a part of yourself. You're going to have to give up maybe spending time with your family. You're going to have to give up that job. You're going to have to give up those things that you were doing that were wasting your time anyway. You're going to have to give up something. And it's got to be equitable. Let me give you an example. What I mean by equitable exchange. Say, for instance, I went and I wanted to look at a property. You know, I use those examples often because that's part of what I do. And I wanted to look at a property, and the listed agent had this property listed at $500,000, $500,000. And I went in, I liked it. I loved it, as a matter of fact. Me and my agent got back after seeing the property, and I said, well, I'm going to put in an offer. That's great. I'm going to go ahead and put in an offer. And my offer is $50,000. Now, you can only imagine that when the selling agent gets that offer, they may be a little bit perplexed at the beginning, and they look at it and say, well, maybe they forgot the zero. And this is great because they're going to offer us full asking price. But you, on the other hand, have offered $50,000. So the selling agent makes a call to my agent, the buyer, and say, hey, did you guys make a mistake? You only put $50,000 down on this offer. He said, no, that's no mistake. I want to offer $50,000. That's not an equitable exchange. That's nowhere even close. I'm going to get laughed off the property. They're going to tear my stuff up. They're going to tear my contract up. They're going to tear my offer up. And they're probably never going to talk to me again, thinking this guy's a joke. Well, that's how many of us go through life asking for things and deciding that we want. Well, many of us don't even never take the time to decide what it is we want. We already established that. But okay, let's say you've moved into that next stage where you've decided what you want. But then we get stuck here because we're not willing to give up all that it takes. We're not willing to give an equitable exchange in order to achieve those things. So you say you want to reach a certain goal. You say you want to do something or whatever it is that you wanted to do. If I said, man, I wanted to be the greatest motivational speaker in the world, I have to now decide what I'm willing to give up that would be equitable in order to help me achieve that dream. And believe me, you're not going to get there without having to give up something. And most of the time, you're going to have to give up a lot. Most of the time, you're going to have to give up more than you feel comfortable with. And this is step number 2 and the reason why we always fail, or the reason why we always start over. But now you have another set of tools that you can put into your toolbox, and you can go about the business of knowing, of first knowing and then doing the things that are necessary in order for you to go to another level. I'm talking about reaching the highest levels, reaching those levels to where you've never gone before. You're going to have to give up of yourself. You're going to have to unzip the old you and step outside of that person. And you're going to have to become another person, a person that you don't even recognize, a person that your family doesn't even recognize. Now, this isn't going to be for the rest of your life. This is going to be for a small burst of time, and then you maintain what you've done within that small burst, and then you go back and you have another small burst, and then you maintain. So you get that? So success loves speed, right? But it doesn't require speed for the whole journey. Just think about the example that I gave you before, the airplane. It takes a lot of speed. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of gas. It takes a lot of momentum to get an airplane off of the ground. But once it's in the air, does it take that same amount of speed? Does it take that same amount of effort? No. You're maintaining at that point. It doesn't even take that amount of effort to land the plane. It's just getting it in the air first, right? That's where the greatest amount of momentum, that's where the greatest amount of force, that's where the greatest amount of determination, that's where the greatest amount of drive, whatever you're shooting for, that's where the greatest amount of your focus has to be, the taking off. Because once you take off, all you need to do is maintain until you get ready to go on another flight. This is what we're talking about when we say success loves speed and coming outside of yourself. Until you go up, until you take another flight, all you need to do is maintain that burst of speed that you've just put in to get to take flight. So, where are we at with this? First, go back and watch the last video. If you missed it, go back and watch it. There were some great points in there. I broke down some points. I'm going to break down again in this one. After you decide what it is that you want, specifically, be very specific. It doesn't matter what the naysayers say. It doesn't matter what outside people think. You make your goals very much tailor-made and specific to you, because every successful person in this world tailor-made their goals and their visions and their dreams for them. They didn't worry about what other people said, done, or thought about it. Make up your mind. Make the decision. Be very specific. We already went over that. Number 2, make the decision. Be very clear about what it is that you're going to have to give up to get that in which you want. Because you're going to have to give up. You're going to have to sacrifice. And most of us are not comfortable with the sacrifice. We don't want to go through anything. We always want. We always want what comes at the end. We always want the rewards, but we don't want to go through the battle in order to get there. As a matter of fact, someone sent me a post from Facebook or a text message today that said that said that very same thing. Oh, when we want the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but we don't want to go through and be picked and primed and go through the tough times, and we want everything to be smiling and gee and giggle. We don't want to go through the tough times, because it's those rough times and those tough times that shape you and mold you. It's those tough times that determine who you are. Once you achieve a certain amount of success, those tough times are going to be those moments that you're going to remember the most. You're not going to remember when you made it. You're going to remember all of the times that it took and all of the things that you had to go through to get there. That's what you're going to remember. You're going to remember the grind. You're not going, you're not going, that's the easy part. The grind is what made you. The grind is what gave you character. So, take up the cost of what is going to take for you to get there. And we must become hearers, not only hearers of this word, but doers. And I'm talking to myself as well. No more acting. It's going to take action. No more acting. It's going to take action. Because when that opportunity presents itself, it's not just going to go away. It's going to move on to the next person that's in position to receive it. I'm going to leave you with this, and I'm going to look at my notes for this one. When the defining moment comes, you either define the moment or you allow the moment to define you. And I, for one, am sick and tired of allowing moments to define me rather than defining the moment. Let's summarize. Take up the costs that it's going to take. Take up all of the costs and be willing to give up those things that are keeping you from where you are now and where it is that you want to be. Your boy Top Dog, intellectual preacher. I'll holler at you guys on next time. Motivational Mondays. Go out on tomorrow. Let's be great on purpose. I'll see you guys at the top.